the show's starting. Abby, where are you?
I'm here. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your host, Abby Perry.
And I'm Parker Carlson. So, Abby's gone this week.
I'm right here, Parker. I'm right here.
You got a tan.
I did.
Yeah,
and thanks for noticing.
Your teeth have gotten, you have big teeth. Actually, wait, no, you've always had big teeth. Never mind, the same look as usual.
Well, I mean, I am the same fabulous, independent woman I've always been.
Okay, when you're right, you're right. I mean, here I was going to hold auditions for your planned absence, but I even invited some of the best hosts. Oh, well.
Parker, you're such a doll, but you'll never going to be like me. Hair flip, check nails, scoff. You know who is going to be just as good, if not better than me? Marcos. He's beautiful. I mean, look at that hair, you know? If I was Marcos every day, would be bliss. I'd get up in the morning and think, wow, what a beautiful man.
Okay, care to actually transition rather than just compliment?
I will. I just want to talk about him some more. He's such an icon. Yeah. I mean, who else could? Anyway, Marcos.
Where'd you go?
I never thought that The Masked Singer would be a show that I would be so viscerally excited for. The show has just gone into its third season, and on a surface level, it seems like just like many of the singing shows of the recent past, like The Voice or American Idol. But there's something about seeing how multifaceted many of the world's most beloved celebrities are. The thing about The Masked Singer is just that, they're masked singers in full body suits. The basic setup is like this. There's two groups of 6 celebrities, and each week they're voted on how well they perform. In addition to this, their real voices are altered, and subtle clues are given in a video package that plays just before their performance. If a celebrity doesn't do well enough, they're sent home, but they must first reveal themselves. This is where a lot of the buildup happens, mainly because Nick Cannon takes his sweet time helping to take the mask off of the performer. This also allows for the plethora of anxiety-inducing camera angles and close-ups of both the crowd and judges as the Masked Singer is revealed to the world and everyone freaks out. If you had Twitter a year ago, you would likely remember that T-Pain won the first season of the show, further cementing his artistry in the music industry. And in season 2, the winner, known as The Fox, was revealed to be Wayne Brady, a Grammy-nominated Broadway star. And with season 3 underway, the guesses just keep on coming. I feel like the greatest appeal of the show is not only that there is a shroud of secrecy, but also that as an audience member, you are just as clueless as the judges. By the way, the panel includes Robin Thicke, Jenny McCarthy, Dr. Ken Jeong, and Nicole Scherzinger, with Dr. Ken naturally offering the most in terms of color commentary. Another aspect of the show that I feel is so enticing is that as a viewer, the celebrity is often on the tip of your tongue, even if you're totally and utterly wrong. You can envision the person you think is performing underneath the suit. Now, this is the part where I get into spoiler territory for what I have seen so far from season 3. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would suggest doing so now or simply skipping forward in the show. Oh, wait. All right, you got time. So while I wasn't sure about many of the singers in the first episode, there was one that I knew almost immediately. The robot just sounds so much like Lil Wayne that I was astonished that no one got the answer right. Now, this may be just from me being a hardcore fan of Wheezy F Baby from 2009 to 2012, but Robin Thicke, one of the judges, mind you, has done 5, yes, that's right, 5 songs with Lil Wayne in the past. He honestly has no excuse. The next performer, the llama, frankly baffled my mind. I had no clue who he was. But Drew Carey, which now looking at the costume seems totally right. I mean, they're basically the same person. And on week 3, the female monster was Chaka Khan. While I wasn't surprised, I was sad to see her go, especially since the tiger, who is clearly Rob Gronkowski, did a less than stellar job that week. Finally, on week 4, the second group of celebrities was introduced and the elephant was voted off. And imagine my surprise when none other than Tony Hawk took off the mask. This utter shock is part of the reason why I'm falling more and more in love with The Masked Singer. Anything can happen and anyone can turn up. Currently, I'm rooting for the frog to win the whole thing. I mean, I feel like there's a good chance that he is Kevin Hart, but only time will tell. That's all for me this week. Until next time, I'm Marcos Carranza, and I'll catch you later.
Thanks, Marcos.
Look at me. I am the Abby now.
Haven't you always been Abby, though?
Yeah. I said to clarify for those non-believers out there.
Wait a second. There are 2 of you now? Abby, you didn't tell me you had a twin.
Yeah.
Okay, let me guess. Abby and Ooby Pooba Ruby. Okay, dream team right here.
Yeah, I love the dream team, but let's be honest, no team could be dreamier than the Cheetah Girls.
That's true.
But I've got some beef with Nathaniel here.
Oh, no, are we talking about the Christmas Party White Elephant Gift Exchange event of 2019?
You're goddamn right I am.
That's my line. You're goddamn right I am.
Poser! Anyways, instead of a crappy DVD, Cassie brought in an actual gift pack, bless her heart, love you Cassie, from one gal pal to another. And it had a noisemaker, a soundboard thingy that Freddie used on iCarly. It's also called a sound bite, whatever, I don't know, technical. I was set to take it home, but then Nathaniel, no longer my beautiful boy Nate, stole it. Just like he stole my heart.
Oh, you mean this?
Whatever.
He's got it.
Yeah,
He's got it.
I'm the Abby. Nate, I hear you had a high fidelity segment today. Take it away.
Look, I wasn't planning on reviewing the new High Fidelity series on Hulu, but from the moment David Bowie's Modern Love started playing in the trailer, I knew I was now obligated to watch it. Plus, the inclusion of the criminally underrated actress and future Catwoman Zoe Kravitz has me immediately interested. The series is a reboot of the John Cusack-led romantic comedy from 2000, which in turn was based on the novel written by British author Nick Hornby. And I'll just get this out of the way. I haven't seen the original movie, nor have I read the book. But what I will say is that I'm a lot more interested now than I was before I watched this series. The series is a gender-flipped version of the story where we meet Rob, played by Zoe Kravitz, the owner of Championship Vinyl, a record store located in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Rob is a music superfan with a vast knowledge of music of all different genres, and also has a knack for creating top 5 lists. Though Rob has some major issues when it comes to commitment and being in relationships, which has led to heartbreak after heartbreak. Throughout the series, we learn more about Rob, the secret she's been hiding, and what went wrong with her recent long-term relationship. Now, High Fidelity isn't the most original series out there. It's fairly cliched, insanely predictable, and some episodes are certainly better than others. The key factor that makes High Fidelity work is its committed cast, led by Kravitz, who gives what is one of her best performances in her career yet. Dolomite Is My Name breakout star Divine Joy Randolph steals scenes as Charisse, one of Rob's best friends and one of her employees at the record store. And David H. Holmes impressed me with his turn as Simon, Rob's other best friend and employee who she used to date until he came out as gay. What really impressed me about High Fidelity is just how addicting and fast-paced the show actually is, while still feeling honest and human. Despite it being a comedy, it's not always focused on creating a joke out of every scene. Instead, it lets the humor come organically, and for the most part, it works, while other times it doesn't work as well. The dramatic beats work, I really did feel for Rob and her well-being, mainly thanks to Kravitz's portrayal of the character. While it would have been easy for the character to come off as unlikable, she instead is a character that a lot of people will see themselves relating to. Is High Fidelity one of the greatest new shows of 2020? Well, no, but it shows a lot of promise of what it can do if it does in fact continue for more seasons. I have no problem recommending High Fidelity, and I'm giving the show 3.5 stars out of 5. Until next time, I'm Nate Richard.
I'm Abby. I'm a journalist.
Excuse you? The true Abby would say, "Thank you, Nate. You're appreciated here more than we'd ever recognize Parker." See, I'm Abby. I hate Parker. Shut up, Parker!
You're not on the show anymore. I like numbers better. They're great.
The Abby uprising has started. We're remaking the old, outdated Abbies, and we're turning them new. And what?
Oh my God! I just got a text from Evan Wilkins. I still love you.
Evan Wilkins. The old, outdated Abby. We're updating this Abby so that it suits with the new generation with updated graphics.
All those who oppose our updated Abby society say so now. Is that Anastasia?
Yeah. She's probably here to throw hands. So Anastasia, why don't you just tell us why you don't like remakes?
Disney's Mulan, Lilo and Stitch, The Little Mermaid, and many more are going to be made into live-action feature films within the next couple of years. These are just the newest in the flurry of animated films being given a facelift in recent years. This trend really began when Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland took off, and since then, any of Disney's popular content is being converted. But why? There's really a simple answer: money. Disney is using films that many of us have watched as children to evoke nostalgia. We'll pay to see the same story that we loved as a kid, and with so many millennials who grow up on Disney having kids, there's an even higher chance that they're going to bring their families. They're banking on the fact that parents will want their children to experience the same films that they did as a child. And while these films have been making a ton of money, they've fallen kind of flat content-wise. A Cinderella remake came out in 2015, and there's hardly anyone who actually remembers it because it was super bland. People remember Beauty and the Beast from 2017, but that's mostly because Emma Watson was in it with some bad auto-tune and Josh Gad's gay character. The issue so often with these retellings are that they are just that, retellings. They're the exact same story with little variation. This is just a waste of people's skills for something that's already been done. Instead of using all the money and resources for a rehash, why not make a whole new story? But this, of course, does not have the same surety of money like a remake does. It doesn't help that for some reason the film industry believes that a live-action film is massively superior to animated films. The last Oscars, multiple voters for the awards stated that they hadn't even watched all the films nominated in the Best Animated Film category, and instead would just vote for the one that they had seen. Animation takes years and years through story development, character design, and world building. It takes 6 whole weeks to produce an animation that is 60 to 90 seconds long, and yet a film that took a year and a half to make is somehow better simply because there's a real person on screen. Making good original content despite the medium should be the goal of an entertainment company, especially one as big as Disney, that has no fear of losing the monetary nor influential power they hold over the majority of the world. And that's it for me. I'm Anastasia Scott.
Thanks, Anastasia. As head of the Council of Abby, we permit your opposing views.
First order of the Abby, Rule 1, subsection epsilon, all hosts must be an Abby.
No more accents on The Real Deal ever.
Anyone named Abby, wrongfully called her full name Abigail Parker, will be executed in front of their peers.
Righto, good chap. Pip pip a doodly doo.
There's no more accents.
I can do what I want, Abigail.
Abby, grab my gun.
Kind of like Batman's parents. Hey, yay, Matt is here to talk about something related to Batman. Take it away, Abby.
It's only been a few weeks since I've last talked about the Batman, but because time is a flat circle and everything we have done or will do, we will do over and over and over again forever, It's back in the news, and I feel like I have an obligation, or rather, I'm bound by the restraints of space and the powers that be to bring you the newest in developments. Whew, so here we go. Whenever a new superhero film is announced, one of the things that gets us the most excited is the first reveal of the costume. How comic accurate will it be? Will it be similar to iterations we've seen before? I'm sounding like a total dork right now, but I was so hyped to see how Robert Pattinson was going to look in the Batsuit, and we finally got our first look. Director Matt Reeves tweeted the short, minute-long screen test of the new suit, and the footage is very red and dark and kind of hard to see, but it doesn't really matter because what we do see is pretty great. We do get a good glimpse of the Bat logo, which looks like it doubles as some kind of weapon, and then we get a look at the bottom part of the cowl. The mask has stitches on the side, creating a more homemade look that fits with the film taking place at the beginning of Batman's career. Now, Pattinson looks unbelievable in the suit. That jawline could cut glass. And on top of the suit, there's also a short clip of Michael Giacchino's upcoming score, which sounds perfectly moody and Batman-esque. Now, like I said, the video is super dark, so there's not much to make out. But luckily, the film has just begun shooting, and we've already gotten some looks at some stunt doubles wearing a modified version of the suit. Again, there's not much more to say other than it looks great, and I would like this directly injected into my eyeballs as soon as possible. Like, let's just speed through 2020 and just get to July 2021 already. As always, I'm Matthew Simmons, and thanks for watching.
Thank you, Matt. You know, I'm thinking we got rid of them, and I'll just take over Abby as myself, you know? I don't need her. I could do the show by myself. I agree, Parker. Aren't you just amazing? You're right, Abby. You know, let's go into the final word. If I'm going to be Abby, then I need to talk about something that Abby would be passionate about. I got it. The Cheetah Girls. Oh, Abby is obsessed with the Cheetah Girls, but I don't know anything about them. A long time ago, Abby told me about some of their songs. Maybe I can interpret some lyrics. Would Abby do that? Yeah, probably. All right, here it goes. I'm Abby Perry. I'm Abby Perry. Everybody likes me. I'm Abby Perry. Hi, I'm Abby Perry, and this week I'm going to tell you about why the Cheetah Girls have the most inspiring lyrics by interpreting the best ones. Okay, let's, you know, check it out. Snapchat. All right, you got to strut like you mean it. Free your mind. It's not enough just to dream it. Come on, come on. Get up when you feel it. It's your chance to shine. So as Parker, I'm interpreting this kind of like a, you know, you do you, girl, you know, type of feel. And like as Abby, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm amazing and I love myself and everybody else loves me and I have such a big ego. All right, next lyric. Amigas, cheetahs, friends for life. The rhythm and each other, that's what keeps us tight. Amigas, cheetahs, living the dream. Nothing's ever gonna come between us. Amigas. So this once again is talking about like, I think our friendship that Abby and I have, you know? Like Abby, like right now she'd be like, oh, Parker, you look so handsome today. Thank you, Parker. Oh wait, Abby, God, I hate you, Abby. Why are you making me do this without you? Okay, next lyric, okay. I don't want to be a Cinderella sitting in the dark, cold, dusty cellar, waiting for someone to come and set me free. Come set me free. I don't want to be like someone waiting for a handsome prince to come and save me. Oh, I will survive unless somebody's on my side. Don't want to be no one else. I'd rather rescue myself. Okay, first off, I will survive. Great song right there. And then second off, the only Disney princess you have to be in life is Raven Simone. I mean, after That's So Raven, like she beats out like Tangled, I don't watch Disney, Frozen, oh, I'm Abby, I like Frozen, it's so wonderful. It's crap. All right, last one. There's a time we all choose there's a time when we all choose to quit or follow through. Just lose faith or trust your heart to somehow lead you through the dark. Without the only one who's dreaming, who needs help to carry on. We might get lonely, but we're not alone. Gonna be honest, Abby. I have no idea what you're trying to say with this lyric, and it's garbage. Cheetah Girls are garbage. I just gotta say it now because when she gets here, she's gonna murder me if she hears me say that. Okay, back to Abby. You know, I understand why I love them so much. I mean, these are my favorite Cheetah Girl lyrics, proving why they are the best musical group to grace this earth. So well spoken, Abby. You know, I say that's your best final word yet, and the best one you can ever do. I agree, and I just want to know, what's your final word? What do you have to say? Thank you for being kind and considerate and acknowledging my feelings, Abby. On to my actual final word. Horse Girl is one of Netflix's newly released films starring Alison Brie. That's about it, really. It's very unspectacular and forgettable, and honestly, you've all probably heard of it before, but didn't care enough to remember to actually go and watch it. I was in the same boat. At the time of writing this review, only like 3 hours after watching the movie, I hardly remember what happened. So, as Alison Brie's first ever writing credit, she has a pretty rocky start. Watch out for some maybe spoilers. Let's be honest, you don't really care, and neither do I. Horse Girl follows Sarah, a lonely 20-something-year-old going through a mental breakdown. Through night terrors, Sarah never really knows what's real and what's not. The audience, however, knows exactly what's going on. It's pointed out very early in the movie that both her grandmother and mother suffered from a mental illness that Sarah clearly is lapsing into. So there's no tension when we're watching Sarah go from skeptical of anything wrong to a sudden jump of craziness faster than my finger clicking on the exit button on Netflix. Instead of investing the audience into the story, making you wonder if Sarah's experiencing is actually true or not, like, ooh, maybe she actually did get abducted by aliens, or maybe she is a clone of her grandmother. You know that it's all in her head and feel no wonder, but a sense of pity for Sarah that honestly overstays its welcome. As if writing a bad first movie isn't enough, there's also a lot of controversy on whether or not Horse Girl plagiarized from a 2017 indie flick called The God Inside My Ear. The director of the indie movie, Joe Baden, went to Facebook to air his grievances. Just to make his point, he also made a comparison video of the two films side by side. Now, I haven't seen The God Inside My Ear, so I'm not fully aware of the comparisons he's making, but I have seen Horse Girl, and lots of the examples he gives of plagiarism seem cherry-picked. Things like both girls hearing voices, both girls recently experiencing the loss of a loved one, both girls getting transported to a dream room that's just white, both girls having a nose and ear bleed respectively and go to the doctor to see them because of that, not to mention a whole other list of random things. All these examples feel like common tropes in this genre of psychological mind-bending films. Of course, some scenes will look and be shot the same. In his comparison video, he highlighted that both films have an actress brushing her teeth and lying in bed. That's not exactly plagiarism, just boring filmmaking we've seen time and time again. Okay, to be fair, some of the comparisons actually do make you raise an eyebrow, but there just isn't enough to substantiate any claims of plagiarism. That's a pretty hefty accusation to just be throwing around, especially in Hollywood. So let's just apply Occam's razor. Two films in the same genre just happen to have a couple coincidentally similar points. I mean, in the promotional run for Horse Girl, Alison Brie did say that her inspiration for the film was of her and her family's history of mental illness. In all accounts, she did seem really genuine about this story of hers, and it makes me that sad that in that light, Horse Girl feels like a very heartfelt story from Alison Brie. It makes me feel crappy that the movie never really had any punch and flopped into obscurity. That was wonderful, Parker. Oh my gosh, I wish I was you and your segments. But you know what doesn't make you feel crappy and really has a punch to it? The Real Deal. So if you want more from us, check out our Facebook, Twitter, and website for all things entertainment. I'm your host, Abby Perry. And I'm Parker Carlson. See you next time on The Real Deal.